If you are over 45, the foundation sitting on your bathroom counter right now is probably on this list, and its score might sting. 10 famous foundations went through a full day on mature skin, morning application to evening light. The one everybody calls iconic finished in the bottom half, a $12 drugstore bottle beat formulas costing 60, and the perfect score went to one most women have never tried. Every score gets explained, so you know exactly what to toss and what to buy. Let's open the scoreboard. First up, Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, 7 out of 10, and the idea here is exactly right. Luminous is the correct answer, because matte ages you and glow does not, and Armani understood that before most of the industry. She blurs beautifully, gives that lit from within radiance with no glitter anywhere, and when she fades softly and evenly instead of breaking apart in patches. The problem is stamina. This is beautiful, delicate energy, and she will not survive a long day, no matter how sweetly you set her. By evening, the coverage has quietly thinned to a memory. Keep her for lunches, photos, and short, elegant evenings, and keep the touch-up compact in your handbag. Just know you are paying a luxury price for half a day of luxury, which raises the obvious question, can a satin finish actually last? The next bottle says yes. Second, House Labs, 8 out of 10, and what a pleasant surprise she is. Smooth and forgiving, not cakey, not flat, which already puts her ahead of half this list. Where heavy formulas hunt down every fine line and dry patch and underline them, this one glides right past without emphasizing texture at all. The finish is a soft satin that reads hydrated, not done, and there is a real difference between those two words. Done sits on top of you like a costume. Hydrated looks like your skin on a good week. You can shear it out with a damp sponge for daytime or build it for evening, and it never punishes you for layering. Her only weakness is a very long day, where she will need one small touch-up. Otherwise, this is one of the genuinely good ones. The next one is not. The next one is the reason this video exists. Third, the viral one, Il Maquillage, 1 out of 10. You know her from the online shade quiz and the before and after photos that follow you around the internet. And in fairness, she is flawless for 5 minutes. Then she oxidizes, separates around the nose and chin, and gaslights you into thinking your skin is the problem. Your skin is not the problem. This is big promises and zero chemistry with real faces, and skin over 45 is exactly where the relationship falls apart fastest, because we have actual texture and actual pores that those studio-lit ad photos never had to deal with. By lunch, your jawline is a different color than your neck, and the formula is sliding in 2 directions at once. Save your money and skip the quiz, and if you think the famous classic coming up next did any better, brace yourself. Fourth, Estee Lauder Double Wear, 4 out of 10. Everyone calls it a classic, and yes, it stays forever, sometimes against your will. This is full coverage with no movement and no flexibility, and mature skin needs movement because our faces are living things, not walls to be painted. Fresh application looks impressive, I will give her that. But on skin over 45, this formula goes flat by noon, that airless, one coat too many kind of flat, and by 3 it has settled into the smile lines and under-eye creases where it plans to spend the rest of the evening. You cannot powder it out, you cannot spray it out, it has signed the lease. Double wear is long-lasting and emotionally distant. She shows up, she stays all day, and not once does she make you look better for it. Fifth, Clinique, even better, 4 out of 10, and this one annoys me because the name sounds like it was written for mature skin. It was not. The finish dries down dull and lifeless, the kind of finish that drains the life out of a face, and while she does even out your tone, she emphasizes every dry patch while doing it. Anywhere your moisturizer missed, around the nostrils, across the cheeks, along the chin, she finds it, clings to it, and points at it all day. You end up prepping your skin harder for this foundation than the foundation ever pays you back. Skin over 45 needs glow and flexibility, and this bottle brings neither. Even better, on mature skin, even worse. Sixth, Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless, 9 out of 10, and she almost took the crown. This is full glam in a bottle. Smooth application, blurred pores, blurred lines, the whole soft focus effect, and unlike nearly everything else on this list, she stays put and does not sink into lines by noon. That is the exact test where the other full coverage formulas collapse, and she passes it with her chin up. Wedding, anniversary, reunion. This is the bottle you reach for when you want the works, and she earns every bit of her hype. So why is she not the winner? Because at the end of the day, she still reads as makeup. Beautiful makeup, expensive makeup, but makeup. Remember that, because the winner is about to make it matter. Quick pause before the scoreboard gets ugly again. If your foundation has already been roasted today, hit subscribe. Because I put a new product category through this same full day test every week, and next time it is concealers. Now, back to the counter, because this next bottle had the worst day of anyone here except the quiz girl. 7th, Huda Beauty, 3 out of 10. Full coverage, full commitment, full cake. This formula was built for ring lights and phone cameras, and on Instagram, she is stunning. In real daylight, at the grocery store, at your kitchen table, she looks like foundation wearing a person. She oxidizes warmer through the day, clings to every scrap of texture she can find, and refuses to move naturally. So every smile and every conversation cracks the surface a little more. Instagram famous, real life hostile, and mature skin is where she is most hostile. Because settling and creasing are already our daily negotiations, and she escalates both. Leave this one to the 20-year-olds filming inside a ring light. That is the only room where she behaves. 8th, the budget surprise, Maybelline Fit Me, 7 out of 10, $12 on any drugstore shelf. Lightweight, blends easily with fingers or a sponge, and she does not sit aggressively in fine lines the way half the prestige counter does. The coverage is light to medium, so she will not erase dark spots alone, and the shade range thins out at the deeper ends. But here is what matters. She is not luxury, but she is honest, which is more than most of this list can say. She promises comfortable, natural coverage for the price of a sandwich, and she keeps that promise all day, without any of the oxidizing or mid-afternoon separation the prestige counter keeps charging you $60 for. A $12 bottle outperforming those formulas is not a fluke. It is a scandal, and the luxury houses should be blushing. 9th, Dior. Backstage, 5 out of 10, The Quiet Disappointment. The first hour is genuinely pretty, a light, skin-like finish that photographs beautifully and feels like nothing. Then the coverage quietly leaves and does not say goodbye. There is no cracking, no cakey drama. She simply fades until, by dinner, you are wearing an expensive tinted moisturizer with a designer cap. Luxury price, barely their payoff. If foundations were dinner guests, this one slips out before dessert and leaves you with the bill. At this price, you deserve stamina, and she does not have it. Lovely for brunch, gone by evening. And now, the last bottle on the counter, the winner, and the only perfect score I have ever handed out. Luxe Color Changing Foundation, 10 out of 10. And here is exactly why she beat every famous name on this scoreboard. Start with the color changing technology, because it solves the single biggest complaint of this entire test. The formula adapts to your skin as you blend, so the shade you see at 8 in the morning is still your shade at dinner. No orange jawline creeping in by lunch, and no standing under fluorescent counter lights trying to choose between two shades that are both slightly wrong. She simply meets your skin where it is. Then there is the wear, and this is where mature skin finally wins one. She melts in instead of sitting on top, and she stays flexible enough to move with your face through every smile and every conversation, which is exactly the test that broke half the famous names on this list. At the noon check, she had not settled into a single line, and at the dinner check, she still had not, and I kept looking, because after 9 other bottles, I did not believe it either. The result is skin that looks rested, smoother, and honestly younger. Healthy instead of done. Remember how I said Charlotte Tilbury still reads as makeup? Luxe reads as skin. Yours. Just on its best week, the Finnish women over 45 have been circling the beauty counters trying to find, and the counters never had her. She sells on Amazon, where she is a #1 bestseller in her category, which tells you the repeat customers figured this out long before the beauty industry admitted it. Quiet luxury, always the repeat. I am leaving the link in the description below so you do not have to go hunting for her. So, closing the scoreboard. If your foundation landed in the bottom half, your skin did not get worse. You have simply been wearing a formula that never respected it in the first place. Toss the one that turned orange. Keep the drugstore surprise for lazy days, and if you want to try the winner, the link is sitting right there in the description. Next time we are scoring concealers, and I will warn you now, those numbers get even uglier. You will want to be here for that.